Hi, welcome to my animation channel. Previously, I talked about observation, how important it is. We talked about video reference being a very important tool and some of the sources of video reference. Then we talked about how even drawing a little bit goes a long way. So before going any further, let's in this video talk about some of the most common terms as far as posing goes that are used in the animation industry, namely extreme poses, key poses, in-betweens, passing pose and breakdowns. What are they? So let's discuss a little bit about these because these are very basic. So later on when we go into more complex, more important stuff, more interesting stuff as well. So these terms will help us to communicate. So let's get started.
I got the perfect part for you in my new movie. You can play a robot monkey, and then I'll send you back in time. Yeah, and you can become president. Yeah, it's perfect for you.
So what are key poses? Key poses are actually poses which are absolutely vital, most important poses without which the story can't be told. So that's why key poses are also called storytelling poses or golden poses, or sometimes super poses also they are called. So basically extreme poses are poses where there is a change in direction. These poses occur generally at the end of an action or movement where the direction changes. So now what is a passing pose? Passing pose is a pose which comes right in between two extreme poses, right at the middle. It is also called breakdown. It defines how the action will go or pass from one extreme to the other. It's a very important pose because it actually defines how the action is going to take place. Without a passing pose, you really don't know how the action will be. It is also called breakdown pose because it breaks down the action. So this is a two way of thinking about the same thing, and both are very important concepts. To break down the action from one extreme to the other, how it is breaking down, and or how it is passing from this pose to this pose. So what are in-betweens? In-betweens are poses that we put in between breakdowns. So these poses are actually not of great importance as such, but their importance comes from the fact that they come between important things. That is the most important importance of in-betweens. In-betweens are poses that are there to fill the gap between keys and extremes and breakdowns. Because if we don't add in-betweens and we only keep the keys and extremes and breakdowns, what will happen is that the animation will look jerky. It will look like tuck 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 like this. But in order to make it look smooth, that's the reason we add in-betweens. And in-betweens are what decides the spacing of things. It's very important. We'll come to what is spacing and what is timing and all these things. But remember that how the object is moving, that feel has got to do something with in-betweens. So thinking about in-betweens is important from the viewpoint of how the thing should feel. Timing is easier to understand, but spacing is something which is quite difficult. So in between is a thing that contributes to that feeling of things. So that is the importance of in-betweens. But sometimes what you think as in-betweens is not actually an in-between, it is a breakdown. So if it has to be added, then it might as well be done well, because of the in-betweens, the whole action sometimes can get bad. So think of it that way, that in-between should be something which should support the keys, the extremes, breakdowns, and it should not take anything away from them. Don't ever try to make an in-between an important pose. A simple example right now, if I have to do this action, I am here, if I have to do like this. So this, all this is an extreme and a passing position. None of the poses here that you observe are an in-between. In-betweens are not poses that have to be observed. They are just poses that will be felt. And those are poses which just support the extreme and the passing position. So when I did like this, you never observed this position which comes between this and this. So this plays a supporting role between the extreme and the passing position or the breakdown. So here is an example of bouncing ball. So the ball is dropping from a height and taking 4-5 bounces and coming to a halt. So to illustrate, basically our bouncing ball is something like this. So all these places where I drew a circle, all these are extremes. Why? Because at all these places the direction is getting changed. So all these are extremes. Let me write E here. All these are extremes. Now here, this starting position and this end position is also key drawings, because they are storytelling drawings. So on basis of these two drawings, all these has been made. So basically, if the ball had to go from this position to this position, it had to go like this. In a realistic animation, it had to go like this. So these are the main storytelling poses, and these are all the extremes which take us from this key position to this key position. So now, what are the passing positions here, or the breakdowns? So what are passing positions? Passing positions are poses which are in the right in the middle of two extremes, which define how the our object of animation is going or passing from one extreme to the other. So our passing pose will be somewhere here. I won't draw more because there is not much space. So all these are passing positions. So now in-betweens will be added anywhere here according to the requirement. When thing is moving slowly at the starting, just about to drop, there will be more drawings or poses together, so that things are moving slowly. And when things are moving fast, the drawings or the poses will be more separated from each other. So now if I explain this thing with the help of one cycle of a walk cycle, so how it will be? Let me demonstrate. Let me first make few key poses. So something like this. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 key poses. Mind you, the word I am using, key poses of a walk cycle, one step. So in a walk cycle, all these drawings are a key pose. All these poses are a key pose, because walk is such a thing, or any action which has a lot of defining poses, all of them will be termed as key poses. So in a walk, if any of the pose is not there, the walk will not be complete. So all these are actually considered key poses in a drawing. This is called the contact pose, because both the feet are contact. Here also contact. It's basically the reverse of this, is the other step. Now this one, this is an extreme, this is an extreme. So this position, which actually shows how the transition will take place, how from this extreme to this extreme the pose will go. this one. It's a very vital pose. So this one is called the passing pose. And this one, where the whole thing is going down, the pelvis area is going down, this one is called the squash pose, and this one is the stretch pose. And in between these poses will come. Observe another thing, that it's following a arc. It's following a arc, and also if you plot the heights of all these, you will see that it is basically a kind of a bouncing ball, just going up and down, up and down, up and down, and also going forward. So now that we have discussed about key poses, passing poses, extremes, in-betweens and breakdowns, so now we can move and get into more complex and interesting stuff. So if you like my video and learn something from it, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you don't miss any of my videos. And please comment in the comment section if you have anything to say. And if you have any topic specifically which you want me to share my opinion or discuss, like me to make videos on in future, do let me know by commenting in the comment section. So that's about it. See you in the next video.